Hey guys, this is 6th grade standard evaluating algebraic expressions. So we're going to do 12 problems pretty quickly here to maybe understand the concept of how we take an algebraic expression and find the value of it or evaluate it. It's almost like solving it. It's just slightly different than what an equation would be. An equation would be, for example, be w plus 6 equals, let's say, 12. If that's the case, then w would be 6. That would be an equation. This one's slightly different. Not much. So what we're going to do is we're going to take w, the value of w, which is 11. We're going to take that, we're going to substitute it back into w here. So instead of w, it's going to be 11 plus 6 equals 17. And so the value of that expression would be 17. Number 2, same thing. We're going to take c, which is 7. We're going to plug that back in here. Substitute back in for c. 2c just simply means 2 times c. So 17 minus 2 times c, or in this case, 2 times 7. We're going to multiply before we subtract. Remember the order of operations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract. So we're going to multiply before we subtract. So this is going to be 14. 17 minus 14 is 3. Move on to number 3. B squared minus 4. B is 5, so this is 5 squared minus 4. 5 squared is 5 times 5. So that's going to be 25 minus 4 equals 21. Okay, moving on to number 4. H minus 3, and then that value will be squared. So 5 minus 3, that's 2. 2 squared equals 2 times 2, which is 4. Number 5, m is 12, so in every place that you see m, you're going to plug in the value of 12. So that's not only going to go here, but it's also going to go here as well. So 12 plus 2m, which is 2 times 12, plus 3. Again, order of operations says that we need to multiply before we add. So we multiply, get 24. So 12 plus 24 plus 3 is 39. Number 6, plug in the 5 in place of this h. So it's 4 times 21 minus 3 times 5. Okay, we're going to multiply before we subtract. So that's going to be 15. So 4 times 21 minus 15. 4 times 6 equals 24. Number 7. Instead of having just one variable, now we have 2 variables. We have 7 for m, n for 5. So we're going to plug in its respective variable. So 7 times m, or in this case 7. So 7 times 7 minus 9 times 5. So that's 49 minus 45. The answer should be 4. Moving on, number 8. D is 10. So that's going to go right here. K is 9. That's going to go right here. So it's going to be 10 squared minus 9 times k, which is 9, plus 3. If you notice, I rewrote the problem, and every time I've been doing this, I rewrite the problem. Instead of the variable, I put down the number. And then that way I can use my order of operations to determine what goes next. So there's no parentheses, so I use exponents. Exponents is 100. 10 times 10, or 10 to the square power is 100. 9 times 9 is 81. And then I simply just go from left to right at this point. So that would be 100 minus 81 is 19. 19 plus 3 is 22. Number 9. 7 is x, so 3 times 7 plus 4 times 10 divided by 2. So this is 21, 40. We're going to add last. We're going to divide first. 21 plus 20 equals 41. 10. The perimeter is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. So if my length is 26, I put that there, then add 2 times the width to it. And that should be my perimeter. 2 times 26 is 52. 2 times 21 is 42. And then my perimeter is going to be 94 feet. Getting close to finishing here. I've got trying to determine the Celsius. If it's 122 degrees, which is pretty hot. Okay, I've experienced that myself in Kuwait. Not fun at all. I remember running from building to building that had air conditioning in them. It was just too hot. I think it was like, what, 125, close to 130. Very, very hot. Anyways, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this Fahrenheit temperature. We're going to plug this in right here. And in doing so, using this formula for finding the Celsius from the Fahrenheit, we should be able to, using some math, determine what the Celsius is going to be. So we're just going to plug it in. So Celsius equals 5 times the Fahrenheit minus 32. It's a straight, just a flat out, subtract 32 from it. We're going to divide this by 9. So again, using the order of operations, we do parentheses first. So 90, 5 times 90, divide by 9. Okay. And then you can, I left the parentheses there, but basically it just means multiplication. So I can multiply, then divide by 9, or you can go ahead and divide and then multiply by 5. Either way, you get the same answer. So if I multiply these two together, I should get 450. 450 divided by 9 is 50 degrees. Or 90 divided by 9 is 10, and then 10 times 5 is 50. So either way, my Celsius is going to be 50 degrees. Okay, so if it's 122 degrees outside, which is very hot, that means if I look at it through the eyes of Celsius, using the Celsius temperature method, it would be 50 degrees. Number 12, how do you determine what's an algebraic expression, what's the variable, and how do we evaluate it? Again, algebraic expression is this whole thing. Okay. An equation would include an equal sign here, and then an actual answer. Okay, we're not there yet. The variable, remember, it's the letter that represents a number. And so to properly evaluate this, if I said that C was, let's say, 8, if I knew what C was, then I could evaluate it. If I didn't, I could not evaluate this expression. But let's say it is 8. 2 times C, or 2 times 8 is 16. 16 plus 4 is 20. So if I evaluated this, and C being 8, it would be, the answer would be 20. That's basically it. So this was just a quick rundown of how we evaluate algebraic expressions. And this is specifically focused on skills that you should be able to do in the 6th grade. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, hit subscribe and like. And let me know what you think. If you encounter other problems, anything that you find difficult or difficult to understand, feel free to comment. Let me know, and I'd be happy to help in any way, shape, or form that I can. Guys, have a wonderful day. God bless, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.